to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, AJ Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today. Black Westchester's New Spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it now at blackwestchester.com.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com, the People Before Politics Sunday Rundown with myself, Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and our sister in the struggle, Larnaz Kinsey, and she's been beating up her keyboards.
Like it did something. She was smacking them keyboards like it did something to her.
She been giving them keyboards a whipping.
Like she was avenging her brother's death or something like that.
Exactly. And thank you for everybody who is logged in to check us out. What's going on, y'all? What's happening?
I'm good. What's up, Westchester? I'm just coming back from vacation, so I'm completely relaxed, waiting to get into this amazing discussion we have going on tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's I think I mentioned it last week. There's a documentary on the Long Island Legends of Hip Hop that I am in, and it is screening next Sunday. I probably won't be here. It's screening on the 23rd in Dobbs Ferry, 2:30 p.m. And I'll be on the panel discussion afterwards, and kind of looking forward to that. We did a brief interview with Archie Snowden, who put the film together, and he texted me hours later thanking me for doing the interview because the tickets almost sold out like in hours after I did the interview and blasted it throughout Westchester. So I was like, yo, that's what's up. And I'm kind of happy about that because it would have been quite embarrassing for there to be a documentary that I am in and it's in Westchester and ain't nobody come to the damn theater. So it would have been kind of embarrassing. So.
Well, AJ, I just want you to say something, right? Because you just saying it's a viewing and you're going to have a panel talk. It's a whole sneaker gala that's happening that day.
What you talking about, Willis?
The 23rd? That's a red carpet gala, sneaker gala, and they're doing a premiere and you're on the panel. It's all in one.
Yes, it's part of the Harlem Film Festival.
Oh, with AJ. I was like, what, there's another event? Okay.
It's part of the Harlem Film Festival, and it's take place in Dobbs Ferry. Yeah, and I sent you the press credentials. So there are red carpets and all that other stuff beforehand. So.
Mm-hmm. You see how he just tried to smooth it in?
I
Like,
didn't know about the. I really didn't pay attention because I didn't really, even though I got press credentials, I don't need them for that day, so I didn't really read about all the different things they have. But the film festival, the whole film festival is between the 19th and the 23rd. So there are many other films being screened for the Harlem Film Festival. We'll be one of the ones on the 23rd, the last day. So. And then
I'm gonna be there. Hey,
yeah,
you going?
And then
No.
and then
Close to you.
Huh?
I said it's
No.
close to you.
Where is that?
Dobbs Ferry. It's not as close. That's still
It's
down here.
Mount Vernon.
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
closer
yeah.
to Mount Vernon, but
I don't travel on Fridays and Sundays.
it's not like you talking about Yorktown or Peekskill or something. Then that's close.
Yeah. Listen, man, let me tell you something. Living up here, it just changes your whole driving. I don't know how my wife do it. Driving, like Thursday, I went down and came back up twice in one day. I haven't done that in at least 2-3 years. And
right, because she had something that was Thursday. She had something at the
no,
shop.
I drove down for Marvin. He had that whole event at the library with Eli, which was very nice.
Mount Vernon?
No, he had it in Yonkers at the library.
Yonkers Library. Okay, the riverfront.
It was very nice, and I'm going to get up the videos and stuff. You would be very impressed by a lot of the kids' projects, and that they did.
Yeah, so they had the thing with the graduation and everything and all that.
Well, I don't know about the graduation. It was just a show. They just had the different kids from each city. They had a speaker and all that. I didn't stay for the speaking stuff because I had to go back up and then come back down for the Mount Vernon Democratic City Committee event, which was nice. You know, I mean, it was nice. I'm not,
Damon was in Westchester twice in one day. Damn.
Exactly.
And we missed each other because I was at the library on Thursday too, because they had that Project Rise initiative for that gun shooting, which was amazing. Articles soon come, because it was some dope organizers in the room. It was some dope youth advocates in the room. It was some dope parents just speaking about their lens and sharing their lens about how all these organizations did get funded by Project Rise, but a lot of them were not known, right? And a few were upset at that comment, but I think it was said because
what comment?
The marketing
that they weren't known.
That they weren't known. They didn't know about those organizations or the services that they had in the community. So from
the city, who didn't know them?
That's what a few people stood up and said. They gave an opportunity for people who were attending the event to speak, and they were like, "We didn't even know you existed, and you've been existing for the past 4 years." Probably before that, but Project Rise been funding them for the past 4 years, and they were saying that they didn't know the resources nor the organizations existed in the community. So
that's not uncommon, because we don't get the word out about stuff like that. Like, there's stuff going on, there's things going on here in Mount Vernon that people don't know that's available here in Mount Vernon. So people don't know. And then, if you're not doing outreach
and going to the projects, because they be and going to the projects because some people be scared to go.
Right. So if you're not reaching the people in need and the people that need to know about it, it's like, what they say, like, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, it's that kind of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be the best program in the world, but if people don't know about it, and unfortunately, that's not one of the things, the marketing aspect of it and the outreach part of it, sometimes not enough is spent on that.
That's true. That's definitely true. And creating programs that kids actually want to deal with. A lot of things that I was hearing is that the kids don't want to play sports. And there were some elected officials in the room, and their assistants were in the room, and some of the programs that they were talking about, they were like, oh, we didn't know about that. They were like, well, look online, it's right here. But this was an event to give out resources. So why wouldn't you have something to give instead of trying to negate what people sharing their lens? People saying, hey, I didn't know about this. It's right across the street from me, but I didn't know about it. Not kind of diminish them for sharing that lens.
What? Diminish the organization?
The person sharing that they didn't know the organizations existed.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the responsibility goes both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility goes for the organization and whoever is in charge and actually doing real community outreach. You know, that's part. And on the citizen to know what the hell is going on in their community. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because I would say, how many times are these people, actually, hey, what's up, brother Dave? Go to city council meetings or go to any type of city meeting, and ask questions. You should ask questions. That not everything is going to come to your doorstep.
No, but these is kids. So why am I asking questions?
Well. First of all, I'm saying, well, their parents should know what programs they should have for their kids. My mother knew. My mother knew what was going on at the Greenberg Community Center, what was happening. She knew, right? So, I mean, like, you have to take some initiative to know what's going on in your community for your children. So you can have safe places for your children to go to. Now, I'm like, for the kid to say they don't know, I thought that was a grown-up saying that. Right?
No, they were teenagers. He was 17, and he named the organizations he did recognize. He didn't. He said, I had no idea you existed. Right. And to me, if I don't know there's assistance out there, right, and I don't know, and my family is struggling, right, and if you look at the family dynamics right now, it's a lot of young girls having kids by themselves, right, and if they're young and they weren't taught, how can I expect you to know? I can't expect you to know, right? And then on top of that, if I'm not in your circumstances, your neighborhoods, like a sore thumb, and you see me, you ain't gonna recognize the programs. I'm not saying that they're not doing marketing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I saw on Thursday was beautiful because everybody was coming together regardless if they work together or not. They all got funded together. They should be doing marketing together because everybody cannot reach everybody.
And we need more programs like that.
No, I get it.
And to top that off, Black Westchester, People Before Politics, we just celebrated our 12-year anniversary. There are people in Westchester that do not know we exist. There are people in Mount Vernon that still do not know that we exist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't from a lack of marketing, and it ain't from making noise and everything else. It damn sure ain't that, but there's still people like.
I mean, look, making sure that you have programs and community programs for your children and marketing a newspaper is two different things, right? It's totally two different things. I'm not knocking the child, and I'm not knocking the city. Your city must figure out where they missteps in their programs. But also, I mean, it's a child. That's a job for their parents. Like that. Listen, my granddaughters, they ain't got no goddamn say because we got their summer already mapped out. Once school ends, this is where you're going. Boom, 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 boom. We make sure that happens for both of them, right? So as a parent, it's also your responsibility to make sure that you know the programs within your city to keep your kid active.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. I get it. I understand. It's busy. I understand it's all that. But, for a kid to step up and say that he didn't know, no, I don't expect you to know. unless you saw a flyer or saw something. But I expect your parents to know where are safe places for my child to go in the summer, so they don't be in the wrong place at the wrong time and be killed.
Absolutely. Also, I didn't know about half of these programs myself, which means
I mean, neither did I. But
what I'm saying.
I don't live in Yonkers.
One of the things you can do is reach out to us.
It's not only in Yonkers. They aren't only in Yonkers.
Oh no, but I mean, I specifically thought this whole forum was a response to the shootings and everything like that. And
yes, it was. It was. Yeah. But they came together because Project Rise was the entity funding all these organizations.
Okay.
Right? And a lot of them do operate in Yonkers. So they did show up to that shooting response that they had on, I don't want to say the street because I'm a new Westerian, so I don't want to get the street wrong.
I think it was Elm Street. I believe it was Elm Street.
Yes.
Oh, that shooting was on Elm Street.
Yeah.
You know what? But what's the name of the Project Rise? Was it?
Yes, Project Rise.
So for Project Rise and for the organizations that they fund, one of the things y'all can do is, put Black Westchester on your mailing list. Like y'all need to do, like not just Black Westchester, like the Yonkers Voice. You know what I'm saying? All the in the community publications and stuff like that. That's a good way to let the people know, because
a few of them do, because through me, right? Because I work with at least 3 of those organizations. So the 3 organizations, I do funnel information to Black Westchester so it can get out. But the other ones, I just saw on documentation before when I saw certain people getting funded by certain things.
Right.
Yeah, so, and because you can't expect mainstream media. Mainstream media is not going to promote these kind of things. So, but it just you got to be. Bottom line, you got to be more aware of what's going on in your community. There are a lot of services, not just these, that most people do not know exist in their community that can benefit them, and that's just the bottom line. Unfortunately, all the organizations on TikTok, etc. I don't know.
I don't know. I know they're on Instagram.
Maybe you could invite them to come on the show.
Did it already? They coming?
So we could have an opportunity to discuss their programs and what they're doing in different cities throughout Westchester County.
Bring some awareness. Yep.
To address crime and violence, to address the need for these young people to have safe places, to go, and we could go from there. You know what I'm saying? Because, I think, we really have to educate our people, because I think the world is just getting so fast, and people are trying to keep up with this fast pace. They are literally losing their goddamn minds, right? And having, I'm not even going to say trauma, because I think the left has just used that so much. It just took away the value from it. But people can't slow down at this point. And because they can't slow down, they're missing out on a lot of information. They're missing,
and you get bombarded by a lot of.
Listen, just in your personal lives, you're just on the go, and you're not just taking that time to just stop.
Right.
So I be telling my wife, stop. What are you doing? Slow down. Just slow down.
Yeah. Child of God 9124 makes a good point. I mean, you have to you have to have a presence on social media as well, which is a free way to getting the word out without paying for advertising and stuff. You have to have some, and like she said, like that person said, that is, you got to meet the people where they are, and that's where a lot of them are on social media. So
And it's hard to slow down, Damon. Like I don't know what kind of life y'all lived, but my teenage years was hard. I didn't think I was gonna make it past 25. So I was in that.
I'm talking about grown ass adults. I ain't talking about children.
No, but I'm saying that, you know, moving, they're replicating what they see, right? And a lot of people, a lot of young kids have the same belief, like they're not gonna live past this. So let me get all the stuff I can get out. And
but that's a whole direct,
right. That is a whole nother conversation. But let me just say, at 16, doing this work, it's sometimes hard to slow down because there's so much that needs to be done. And I have to purposely take the time and make myself. You know what I'm saying?
You have to take days.
Yeah, you have to take days. And I call them mental health days, or like whatever you want to call them. You have to take that time for yourself. I have to force myself to do that.
I have never
this
seen
work you always like.
I have never seen my wife turn her cell phone off.
Well, this was the first weekend that I did not work in the past 10 years.
Did you turn your cell phone on?
No, she was texting me the whole time. No, I'm just playing.
I didn't, but I did not. I was using my cell phone to capture the moment.
I get that, but sometimes we don't even want to do that. Like sometimes I'm getting ready to do a whole show on that. Sometimes you have to detach, right? You have to look. If they recommend for this cell phone to be turned off sometimes, right? Apple will tell you turn your phone off sometimes. Let it reboot. We have to do the same thing with our bodies and our mind, right? We have to do it. And if we don't do it, right, we're walking around a nervous wreck and don't even know it. I'm going to do after this show, I'm going to do a whole show on this.
Well, they programmed us to regulate ourselves through the phone.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right? So now how can you tell me to shut the phone off if this is the only thing for the past 5, 10, 15 years has been regulating me?
Exactly. No, it's done on purpose.
It's by design.
Right.
Definitely. Definitely.
They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything.
But I just want to say, even doing this work, I had to for myself take that time for myself, because doing this work, and there's so much work to do. You know what I'm saying? It is hard to slow down. And sometimes I literally have to go out of town and just like escape and just relax and just veg out. And you know what I'm saying? People are like, yo, I called you earlier. I was like, yeah, I see it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I had to learn, like, you don't have to answer the phone every time it rings. That's why they made voicemail. And if you're calling me and it's about business or about advertising, or you really want to get us to cover something, you're going to leave a message. You understand what I'm saying? So when I get back, I'm chilling with the family and everything. When I get to my phone, because a lot of times my phone is not chained to me when I leave. My phone is not chained to me at all. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, yo, it's ridiculous. Like I was telling Damon, I went out there for 2 weeks. Yo, it was like 8 days before I turned my laptop on. That is never happened. Like, I was like, yo, Damon, I haven't even touched my laptop in 8 days. Like, yo, for real. Like, it was just beautiful. But you have to make yourself do. That's something you have to do for your own self-care. And I'm learning more and more. And for your peace of mind and for your health, it is very important. You know what I'm saying? Because keep running and running and running. Eventually, you're going to run out and you ain't going to be no good for nobody. Yourself, your family, or any of those people that you're trying to help with your organization. So you have to take care of yourself. And you've seen a lot of organization leaders, talking about they were just in the hospital for this and for that. And sometimes that's God's way of telling you to slow down and sit down for a minute. It's real talk. So, that is a whole show, Damon. You know what I'm saying? I would love to be involved in it, but that is a whole show.
Too. Would love to speak about it.
We could talk. We could like fill this whole 2 hours with just that. Like,
yeah. So I want to jump off it and jump into the next thing. Where we at? So No, that's not it. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is it?
And shout out to ELOC and all they're doing while you're looking that up.
Yeah, big shout out.
All the great work they're doing. Great work with the kids. Great work.
Yeah, I mean,
Environmental Leaders of Color is what ELOC stands for those who don't know.
Sometimes people are not given the credit that they need because of politics and all this other so it's like we should always try to recognize people that's doing a good job, man, beyond what they the bullshit. So today, ladies and gentlemen, the Amsterdam News just reported that Black homeownership drops in New York City, and they're saying like advocates need to look at more funding. But I think it's also when you look at the numbers in this article, it declined from 14.7%, which was equal to 209,524 in 2002 to only 178,659.
In New York City,
yeah, in 2023.
Yeah, I'm pulling that. I just pulled up the article.
So I mean, homeownership is key. Is the first door. Homeownership is the first door to generational wealth. The first door. And when we talk about affordability, these talking points that I don't know who makes them up. I don't know who makes these talking points up. But when you get a whole group of elected officials and you get the paid off media, affordability, and all of a sudden everything is affordability, right? But nobody's having real conversations in New York of black home ownership. And this is one of the reasons will be connected to why Black people are leaving New York City and New York State, because it is easy to buy a home in southern states. Let's just call it what it is, and instead of looking in Washington, D.C., when are we going to really begin to look at our local elected officials on what policies that they have or that they don't have or that they are refusing to even talk about, and they want to deflect to Washington, D.C.? Your policies are the issue is your state policy. It's not Washington, D.C. policies. It's how you raise it. It's how that you raise taxes. It's your taxes on goods. It's your taxes on service. Is your regulations that make it more expensive for anyone to build in New York. Of course, it's going to cost more because the developer, if he ain't building low-income housing and getting 30-year tax abatements, the developer has to go through all these regulations and have to pay these taxes. So at the end of the day, the cost is high.
So here's a part that caught me in the article because I pulled it up. So you read numbers that were from 2002 and then 2023. It said in the past, fair housing programs, low interest rates, and the wider availability of mortgages and increased incomes for Black public sector and unionized workers help people buy homes in neighborhoods like Southeast Bronx, Central Brooklyn, and parts of the Bronx. Southeast Queens, Central Brooklyn and parts of the Bronx. Black home ownership in New York City had increased for decades, but the city's communication on racial equity says that current Black ownership rate is only at 32.7%. And it says predatory lending, foreclosure waves after 2008, deed theft, tax liens, rising repair costs, and the estate issues have stripped many families of the homes that they experienced. So it's a twofold. Not only can't people afford to buy homes, with all of these things going on, a lot of people who own homes are losing their homes.
Right, they're losing their homes.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is why I am for no state property taxes. I'm for that.
The estate planning is a big part of it also, because a lot of people
that too.
don't understand that when you pass away, you don't automatically inherit the house.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. That's lack of understanding in business, you know, when people own homes. But even the biggest reason why Black seniors lose their homes is property taxes.
yes.
It's property taxes. If I'm a Black, well, shit, I am a senior citizen almost, right? So, I'm like
with your old ass in denial. No, I'm just playing.
Exactly. But if you look at someone that was my mother's age, right? When my mother bought her home, it was $80,000. I don't even think it was that high, right? That same condo in Greenberg now sells for $600,000-700,000. Right? So if she bought it at 80 grand, and she retires at whatever her salary was in the 80s, right? She still have to pay increased taxes because the property value on her home is increasing.
Yes.
Until to the point she can't even pay her property taxes. So in literally, this is the biggest sham of the American people. Because you never own your home. This is the biggest sham. I don't give a shit about Republicans and Democrats. The biggest sham on the American people is property taxes. And they keep Negroes, and we always lose in it. And they keep Negroes looking at Washington, D.C., looking at Trump, but never addressing the issues that are at home, that we are losing the little generational wealth that Black people can hold on to. It's literally insane. And they wonder why you become a senior and then you bounce. You sell your home and you go down south.
Where you can live more comfortably, have a better quality of life for your remaining days.
Exactly.
Taking your New York pension down to some of them southern states, you could like when I lived in Central Islip, my father's friend, he retired. I forgot what kind of job he had. He sold the house, the house he had in Central Islip. He went down to Georgia back then, and this was back in the 80s, early 80s, and he brought damn near half a mansion down there and was living comfortably, and still, you know what I'm saying, not spending the money that he was spending up here, and that's the way it is. It's like
it's sad.
Even rent was cheaper when I first moved to Georgia in 2002. Lonez, me and my girl who ended up becoming my wife, we were renting a 4-bedroom house, 2.5 baths on a half an acre of land for $675.
Wow.
Renting. You know what I'm saying? Car garage, like $675. That's what we were spending in Cobb County, Georgia, in
Wow.
2002, 2003, 2004. And even when it went up, it never went up. It never went up above. It never got to like 800. I don't think it went up every year. It never got to like over. It never got to $800 like the 5 years. Like
so I pulled up the article also, and I just want to say this is a stat in the article, right? It says that the Federal Reserve has found that the wealth of white people is diversified among an almost equal amount of mutual funds, stocks, and real estate, while Blacks, Latinos, and Asians tend to have all of their wealth rooted in property.
Well, I mean, that's the biggest and probably only one they can afford at the time. And you have to maintain. You listen. Let me tell you something. Owning a house is crazy. You gotta have.
Maintaining.
You gotta have 10 grand on hand, right? If your water boiler goes, that's 6. If your AC unit goes, that's probably over that. So you gotta have money to be on hand. If something happens. You know, I tell my wife, I ain't got time to be paying her to be doing all that. I need to have this just in case something goes wrong in this house, because I'm going to be the one that's going to have the responsibility to fix it.
So, I love insurance. I got renter's insurance. I remember in 2013 when we had that blackout. Guess what? My renter's insurance gave me some money for some food.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I got insurance. I got appliance insurance. I got listen, I got all that stuff because you're gonna need it.
Absolutely.
Especially on the house, your water board will go. Because I know I've been up here 8 years. But I service my joint. You know, I have the little people come in and do whatever they have to do to try to make sure that but you only get good 10 years out of your water boiler. Right. You know, and then you got to start looking to replace it. You know, next year, next year, God willing, you know, I get my little tax return, I'm going to replace my water. I'm just going to replace it. You know, because there's other, you know, things that you could do now that you really don't need no big ass water boiler in the basement.
Right. I wonder. We were talking in the comment. I wanted to bring back this comment. Kevin Megan said, as a combat war veteran, I earned the right to partake in a democracy I fought to defend, but we are being cropped out of the picture rightfully belonged in. And I just wanted to, like, I didn't want that to go without.
All right. Well, I want to go back to this because I'm confused. Child of God said, New York is next up on the reparation train. Michelle Rolliges is the one holding up the legislation because she wants Haitians to get reparations too. We're up next. No, what is Haitians getting reparations for?
So Haitians, if they're entitled to reparations, are entitled to reparations from Haiti.
Exactly.
About when reparations, we're talking about American descendants of slavery. You know, this has been a debate for a long time. You know what I'm saying? If you're not an American descendant of slavery, meaning your ancestor, your family members actually were slaves. Actually came here from another country afterwards. You know what I'm saying? You've been through a lot of other stuff, and I understand all that. But the reparations that we're talking about for slavery is for American descendants of slavery, and those are the only people who my sister had that conversation. Her husband, my brother-in-law, is from Jamaica, and she strongly feels that too, and he agrees. If reparations came, it should come. She should get it. He shouldn't get it. He is not an American descendant of slavery.
Haitian needs to go and deal with France because they were under the rule of the French, and they were enslaved under the French.
Right, and that's what
Michael
said that too.
Right. From the French. Like, what are they coming over here messing with our reparations? Right? Messing with all
the woman she was mentioned, she says she's an assemblywoman in New York State who maneuvered into the Reparation Commission.
I'm going to look that into it, and I'm going to write a piece on that. She need to
I'm getting ready to look that up too, because
she need to mind her business and send that letter over to the French for Haiti. And I'm not any. See, we getting out of hand with this because I've seen a lot of chitter chatter on social media, about Black Americans, and I'm not talking just about FBA. That they're making it personal against Tariq Nasheed because a lot of people don't like Tariq Nasheed. But at the end of the day, the historical fact of Black Americans are freed men and freed women. Once you start talking that, they can't say anything because that's what our ancestors were addressed after the Civil War, right? And Aaron McGregor made it a point when he in Boondocks. What was the grandfather's name was Mr. Freedman, right? So he was sending a message for people most people didn't even understand.
Nope.
Right?
A lot of things he said in Boondocks went over. People laughed and we thought was funny. He addressed a lot of issues that just flew over some people's heads.
Well, people going back right now in 2026 and watching the episodes and getting it. Right? Getting it. You get it when you're supposed to.
Some still ain't getting it. They just think it's funny.
well, listen, I don't believe you're about to get reparations. I don't believe it until I get a check. But at the end of the day, if we don't understand economic literacy, we're just gonna give it right back to the white man.
I was just gonna say a check. Giving money to people who are not prepared for it. The same thing you see these young athletes and these young, they went from the projects to making $20 million a year, but no one taught them how to transition their mind from living in the projects to making $20 million a year. So you still have the mentality you had from living in the projects. There's a transition at your mind that you need to go into. And if you just give a bunch of Black people, unfortunately, everyone a large check, it will actually do more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think reparations could look like in a bunch of different ways, like home ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Black people and county free state and county colleges, like the first 2 years or something like that. To help even the playing field and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everything should just be a check, because I don't think everyone can handle a check.
Listen, and they come to me, they say, Mr. Jones, how you want your reparations? How you want your reparations?
You saw Dave Chappelle. You saw Dave Chappelle when he did the series. I sent it to you. When they gave everybody their
I'm going to tell them I don't want to pay property taxes.
Yes, it'll be like the Dave Chappelle.
I don't put no money in my hand. Just I don't want to pay property taxes.
Right.
Oh well, you don't want to pay property taxes? Okay, no more property taxes for Mr. Jones at la Drive. you understand? Don't put no money in my hand because I know what I'm going to do with it, right?
Everybody
cut the dang check.
Yeah,
everybody needs to Google the episode of the Chappelle show when Black people got reparations. Mercedes Benz went up $500, 500% in stocks. Like the money people were buying stuff. People were buying spinners and didn't have cars to put them on.
I'm good.
Buying stuff. Like
I'm good because I know what I'll do with that money that I'm not paying property taxes, right? Because you have to be disciplined and you have to understand things. But at the end of the day,
sorry, Kevin May. I didn't put the comment up though.
But I mean, listen, I have that type of attitude, but I really don't think that. I think they just pandering, right? I'm really they just pandering to us to get our goddamn vote. You
Right,
know,
'cause you hear about this before elections.
Exactly, because you ain't never. I'm almost 60 years old. I ain't never hear no black politician talk about reparations until now.
Not after they got in office.
Exactly, until now. Let's not, brothers and sisters. Either I support the reparations movement, I support everything, but let's not be fooled by these slick ass politicians. You know, and then you got this other one talking about Haitians. Only thing she's doing is helping the party stall it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not be fooled by it, because now, we gotta. Oh my God, she came up with the Haitian stuff. We gotta have another study.
Yeah, we gotta study that.
Next thing, another 8 years to go down the road, right? Then somebody, you know what? Then somebody gonna say, "Oh, we got those of Jamaicans in it." They're gonna be like, "Oh, we forgot about the Jamaicans. We gotta have another study." Right? Another 8 years down the road. Then all the people that was talking reparations dead. Now they ain't even got to talk about it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like we have to, you know, we have to make that. We have to make that a non. What they call that? A non something. I can't think right now. We have, every time we talk to a black politician, right? Every time, well, look, Kevin, I used to be under that understanding, but then something said to me, you know how politics work. Ain't nobody just gonna make up a number and cut the check. So we have to have the panels to get the numbers. We want the numbers. Because we know it's documented by law, right? We ain't taking money from nobody, because we're taking money from the government, because the government uphold these laws that kept us slaves. They upheld the laws of the slave codes. They upheld the laws of the black codes. They upheld the laws of segregation. They upheld the laws of all these laws. The government upheld them. They supported them. So we're not taking money. We're not taking money from nobody else. We're taking money from the government. See, these redneck Negroes that be out here talking about black people don't need no reparations, that black people do not need reparations, are being paid to say these type of things. Like, you got these black Negro redneck conservative commentaries that say they're conservative and stand with their chests out that we don't need reparations, but they will never say that to the Jews. They will never say that to the Chinese and the Japanese. The Japanese got reparations. They never told the Japanese that they shouldn't have reparations. They never told the survivors and the families of the Holocaust that they should have never got.
Happened on another land, which happened in another country.
Well, right, but they will never say that. That's why that bullshit with Tasha K, she's ignorant. And I was a fan. But she getting all in her feelings because somebody called her husband an African booty snatcher. So she really? Yeah. So she want to go off on her show talking about FBAs are no different than the KKK. Tasha, you never read a damn book? Foundational Black Americans were the ones that were attacked by the KKK. What are you talking about? You in your feelings because your African husband? That's your man. You have a right to be in your feelings. But don't try to come at no lineage of a people, of a struggle. You done lost your goddamn mind. See, we got to get it together, black people, because, wherever he was born, I really don't care. Listen, ain't my husband. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us how you really feel.
I really don't care. You know that, if What was that? If you don't take the time, if you don't take the time, your body take it for you. If you don't think that,
I guess that's the earlier conversation we were having, I guess.
Yes. That was at the beginning.
I mean, but I think says Kevin Mega is right. The Germans did them dirty. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem is even my white liberal friends, even some of black folks, when black people start talking about their lineage and how their lineage means so much to them, even black people get scared. And it doesn't make any sense. We've sat around and let them take the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment away from us, which was made for us. Wasn't made for nobody coming over here and having a baby and getting our damn tax dollars. It wasn't made for all that. It was made specifically for us. It wasn't made for no goddamn immigrants. Because we're the ones that went through all that for 400 years, 300 and some odd years, 400.
Long enough.
Right. We're the ones that y'all ain't do it. Y'all ain't do it. Y'all was over in your country just watching.
Or going through whatever you want to do in your country.
Listen, they were watching. They ain't come over here and say, we're going to help y'all. Ain't not a damn boat came from Africa in 400 years from with a black man on it. Say, hey, we're coming for freedom. Not a goddamn boat did that. Yeah. I'm just being honest. Show me where they sent a fleet of boats to come free us.
No, they was sending a fleet of boats and making sure they was full like it was a cruise.
Exactly. But my point is, show me a fleet of boats when they came and said, we're going to come free our people. Now we don't went through. Now we don't went through all that. Now we don't went through that, and they talking about, oh, come over here so we can spend our goddamn money. Absolutely not. I respect y'all. But I want some good old land over here where my ancestors' blood and tears and sweat and sacrifice is in this soil. Ain't in Africa. Well, parts of Africa, yeah. But I'm talking about from slavery. Because people will say, well, you descended from Africa. Co-founders, Advocacy, have been educating, fighting reparations. Yeah, no, I have no problem with
it. And other groups copied them.
What do you mean other groups copied them?
No. You said they started the American descendants of slavery. What you're talking about, all the other groups wanting the reparations that are meant for us. That's what he's saying. Other groups copied what they have, the work that they've been educating people for years.
Listen, let me explain something. All of them are babies to Dr. Claude Anderson.
She's not saying, wait. She's not saying they created it. What she's saying is what you're saying. We did the work, and everybody else wants to reap the benefits off the work. That's what I'm saying. She didn't say they created the talk. She said they've been educating people for years, and other groups and took the framework, and now they're trying to fight for whatever off the conversation that we're having.
Well, not only what them people were doing, we got to understand that politics changed the framework. Politics changed the framework. They initially they took the 13th, 14th Amendment away from us and applied it. If I got to go find the thing where the white lady was saying no, it was all for the blacks, and then they were arguing that no, it was for immigrants. They took the framework. Not the actual immigrants, not the black immigrants, the white immigrants. Let's make it clear on that. And then the black immigrants just benefited from that. And now look at the Supreme Court ruling. Now you could be on vacation from another country, be pregnant, be over here, have the baby, and the baby American citizen. Right? I just did a video about the Medicare scam. They tell you that Medicare for all is for everybody. Black people, we're already in the Medicare system. Maybe it's not equal as far as treatment, but we're already in there. Who benefits from Medicare for all? Immigrants. They benefit more than we do. And now they want open borders. Now these fools want open borders. They want to give every immigrant in America amnesty.
No organized country allows open borders. No established country has ever approved of open borders. You have to protect your borders. You just can't have everybody running up in your country. I mean that is fair. So the open borders thing is bullshit.
No, I mean, look, we could say it's bullshit. We could say we could say all we want is bullshit.
The wanting to change legislation for there to be open borders. The argument for open borders is bullshit. Like there's no you don't want open borders. You don't even understand what that means. You don't even understand what you mean when you say that.
Well, that's what they're running on. So
yeah, I know.
We could disagree with it with an understanding, but if Black people don't really stop and slow down and examine, especially the DSA. Now, I invited Jamal Bowman on the show. I invited the public at
Jamani
Williams on the show. I told Jamani when we was in Albany, I said, I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm Black before I'm DSA, brother. Let's keep that 100. So I want to see what Black people is coming out of it. And I hit Jamani and I hit Bowman. Tagged them both. Y'all Negroes need to come on the show. Mm-hmm. Because I want to talk about this DSA stuff.
So neither one of them got back to you?
No.
So listen, so this is AJ talking. So y'all had no problem coming on the show when y'all were running, when you were in your candidacy, and Brother Jamal, when they were coming after you and we were defending you, you had no problem coming on the show. I think that you owe it to come on the show now to have this conversation. Point blank, like, and Jamani, when we was in Albany, was telling everybody, every time somebody attacks him, Black Westchester, the only one who defends him, you was telling that to anybody who would hear that when we was all in Albany. So, I mean, Jamani, my brother.
Well, they all need to come on the show and have a real conversation. Because
that's what I'm talking about.
Right. I want to know how these points really affect Black generational wealth. Because see, when you have, and I want people to understand this, when you have a political organization that wants to seize the means of production, we have a problem. Because the only way you build generational wealth is ownership. And
if ownership wasn't so important, it wouldn't be chosen.
Our operation was to get Black Americans to Hey, listen, if that's the case, if that's what she's about, then she's wrong. We ain't having no more open borders. I'm sorry. I ain't for no open borders. Because I ain't for opening up my doors in my damn house to anybody. You just can't come in my house. How you just gonna come in my country? We can't. I done traveled the world. I haven't landed in one country that said, "Hey, Damon, come on in, man. Mm-hmm. We ain't gotta check you. We ain't gotta know where you from. Come on in."
They say how long you gonna be here and what you doing here.
Exactly. Where you going? Write down where you going. We want to know where you going and how many days you gonna be there. Mm-hmm. You better leave the day you gonna leave.
Is this work or pleasure? Is the first question they
Yeah,
asked.
we went to London in September, and they got this new thing. Not only your paperwork, your passport, and all that. You have to have, like, if you're going there to make money, you have to have a certain work thing that you have. Once you fill the thing out and pay for it, it's good for 2 years. And if you are caught without that and you get in all kinds of trouble. They want to know when you come in. They want to get an idea when you leaving. They want to kind of know what you're doing. Like, it was crazy. Like it's changed a lot. Like,
well, hey, listen, you can't. I mean,
I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm saying? Because they got England got the same problem. We got a lot of people go there and their visas and all that stuff expire and they stay there. They dealing with that problem.
I mean, okay, I just want to answer this. Tens of trillions of dollars. Black people already spend almost $2 trillion a year. We spend more money than any other ethnic group in the world. Like, we spend more money on nigga shit than the country of Mexico spends to operate.
Hold on. Police officers in Cancun, maybe about 2019 when I got shook down by police out there, is only making $350 a month. That's the salary.
Yeah. But black folks, we spend. So getting reparations, and we can't even handle our money correctly right now. We can't even build black communities with the money that we have now, right? The black dollar doesn't even stay a second. The black dollar doesn't even circulate in black communities for a second.
So listen. So we're not gonna come back and forth. Child God, the real talk. No. Let me just end this with this. So what Damon's saying, we spend over $3 trillion right now. What are we doing with that $3 trillion we have right now? We're creating white generational wealth.
Exactly.
Everything that you buy, Mercedes, that's somebody's last name. All those things that you buy are creating and furthering white generational wealth. We are not supporting black companies. We're not creating black companies. I'm talking about as a whole, not that they're not black people doing this. So don't come at me like that. I just went to Canada. What's up, peace, brother James? I just went to Canada and I had to show ID coming and going when I got there, and they asked how long I was staying. Yeah, you need ID. You need the enhanced ID or a passport or something to cross the borders of Canada and Mexico. When you didn't really need all of that before, but you need that now. You can't even go to Canada now without at least the enhanced ID or a passport.
Yeah, but see, no, I'm not going to throw. Let's just go.
Also, no, but I want to finish. So we're spending all this money on. We're helping create more white generational wealth. We're not using this money like Black Wall Street, where we building our own and supporting our own. So if you give us more money in the form of reparations and all black people get a check, we will create more white generational wealth. Because we're going to spend it. We're going to spend it. Yo, when they gave us, I said this before, when they gave us a stimulus check and the economy was hurting real bad, they didn't really give you the stimulus check because they cared about you. They needed you to spend money to stimulate the economy. Because they did, and they gave out stimulus checks. And living in Mount Vernon, I saw so many brand new cars with temporary tags on them. And some of the people, most people ain't got them cars no more. We spent that money wasn't spent. That we spent it spending it on Gucci and all these other companies. That's you're building their wealth for their family, their generational wealth. So understand that. So we need to educate. We're not doing what we need to do with the money we have now. If you give us more money, it could be more detrimental to the black community. Point blank. Just giving out checks willy-nilly. So we're going to end with that. We're not going back and forth.
Yeah. All right, we're going to the next subject. We're going to the next topic. Check it out. The National Association.
Stephen A.
Hold on. The National
Sports analyst and
so the National Association of Black Journalists I guess just had their conference or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they just had their annual conference.
They just had their annual conference, right? So I guess they got this new segment. I don't know if they. I don't know. The thumbs down. So they decided to give Stephen A. Smith the thumbs down.
Thumbs down award,
the thumbs down award. So let's see what they say.
Political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
So, all right.
Can I answer? I just want one more time because I hate when people misunderstand.
No.
We're not talking about all. We're not talking about all. So stop that. Yes, some people did some stuff with it, but for the amount of people who got it, everybody ain't open up an online business. So let's
first of all, let me hold on. If you got the stimulus check and didn't have a business, you wasn't supposed to get the damn thing.
That part.
That's you're talking about the PPP. Everybody got a stimulus check. The stimulus check was different. Everybody who paid.
I ain't get it.
I ain't getting no stimulus check
Because I made too much.
I made too much.
Exactly. I made too much to get a goddamn stimulus check.
Right. I ain't get shit.
Motherfuckers ain't give me nothing. And I pay more taxes than the people who got the goddamn stimulus check.
Mm-hmm.
The
only thing I got was
so when we talk about I'm not even
some food stamps for my daughter because she was in school and she wasn't in
I ain't
school.
getting no goddamn stimulus check. All right. So this is the response from Stephen A. Smith. Right? This is the epitome. Epitome, yeah, I fucked it up. Christmas arriving early. The NABJ wants to call folks out. Fine, you had your turn. Now mine is coming. And make no mistake, I'm coming. Let's see who really deserves the thumb down award when it comes to the black community. After I say my piece, remember, NABJ, you asked for it. I've shut my mouth for years. Now y'all starting something. Now, last year, they featured him.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to the nitty-gritty. And AJ, we had this conversation, and you know, I told you my opinion of the organization because when I reached out, they told me not to email again. And I reached out when we was being attacked by the Thomas administration for our journalism and telling the truth. And they sent me back an email, told me not to email them again.
Mm.
And I got it somewhere. I just got to find it. But I never spoke about it because,
and to be clear, they sent you a paid member,
right?
It's not just not because you're black media. We were actually paid member. We're still members of the New York black.
No, you are. I'm not. I'm not fucking with them, right?
But I'm just saying. But we stopped. I think we stopped our membership with the national because, again, like you said, they sent you the email as a paid member. I just want to make that distinction.
Right. So, you know, I'm biased in this with that organization because I don't feel them in the minute. But I really, and we can have the conversation. I've watched many of the shows, and I think I commented on one of the shows when they went at, and you watched it, AJ. I commented on the shows when they were going at, I did a whole show when they were going at Stephen A. Smith and one another podcaster went at him, and it's like, yo, like this was crazy, right? So he gets criticism, and they said he disrespected women. Now we had the conversation. You can say your piece. I mean, at this point, I've been accused of disrespecting women when I'm just asking questions and holding women in political positions of power accountable. When you're not going to throw that I'm disrespecting women because you are the mayor, you are the senator, you are this and that, and I am asking you questions. And I'm holding you accountable for your actions. I haven't been called a Republican because I put a foot in every time I can, and I'm honest about it, in Tish James behind, because I think she's the worst attorney general for Black people. I have a right to say that. I have lived experience with her. I have a right to say it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what that's for, but it's just going to cause more controversy. And for him to address it on his platform. To do what?
Mm-hmm.
To do what?
Mm-hmm.
To make white folks cheer? He's not doing it for white folks cheering. But I would say to the president of the National Association of Black Journalists, if you had a problem with Stephen A., did you meet with him?
So my thing is, like, we need to be honest, right? Stephen A. Smith built his career on having strong opinions. That's literally his job. Sometimes we love him for it, especially when he agrees with us. But here's where I think the conversation gets interesting, because where does criticism become a pattern that deserves accountability? Because I'm not saying that, Black women should be protected from criticism. We can be challenged. We can be wrong. We can have bad takes. That's part of being human, right? But the difference is between like challenging someone's argument and attacking somebody's character and dignity is two separate conversations, right? My concern is, why did they give him, like, what accountability for the thumbs down is there, right? Is this public shaming?
Exactly.
It's something they do this every year. Whoever they give I guess, like, their disapproval of, they do it every year. Yes, you can criticize and be respectful at the same time, and that's absolutely we need more of that, because criticism these days is not always in a respectful manner these days. So a couple of things. So they're the National Association of Black Journalists. Stephen Screaming A. Smith hasn't been a Black journalist in a very long time. He's a sports analyst and he's a political commentator. Both which are paid for their opinions. Stephen A. Smith on ESPN hosts a show called First Take, which is a debate show, which is purposely created to debate and bring up everybody's opinion on the fact of the situation. Whether doesn't make either side right or wrong, but it's a debate type show. It is not a news program. Stephen A. Smith it's been years since he was in locker rooms going around when he was working for the Philadelphia, whatever the paper was down there, and he was a reporter. He hasn't been a reporter or a journalist in a very long time. He's elevated to a sports analyst, which you pay him for his opinion, and a political commentator, which is giving his commentary on politics. So to even hold him as a standard of a journalist, now he does have one of the bigger platforms for Black people. He does have a big platform, and he has the Stephen A. Smith show, and what was the other thing called that you watch, Damon?
Straight Shooter.
Straight Shooter. He has those things, and he actually owns it. I think he's a content creator. He actually owns his stuff, which is very important. But it's his opinion. He's not giving news, and opinions Fortunately, like assholes, everybody has one. You know what I'm saying? He just gets paid to expel his. Does not make him right. Often, sometimes makes him wrong. I disagree with him often. But he's paid to give these opinions. And that's why he's getting paid. So he's not a journalist reporting the news at this point. Now, he does in his commentary talk about news, and he often gives his opinion on what he felt the person should or should not have done, and telling people they shouldn't be saying these things or they shouldn't be doing these things. He's good for telling people what they shouldn't be doing, especially in sports. For somebody who's never dribbled the ball in his life or passed the ball in his life, he likes to tell athletes what they should be doing, but he gets paid for that. So these people are paying him for that. They're paying him for his opinion. I was a fan in the beginning, in the early ESPN days. I did like the fact that he said a lot of things that people wouldn't say. I actually liked his bravado. You know what I'm saying? I actually like that. Problem is when with a lot of people, you build these platforms, and the bigger you get, especially when you are getting a lot of clicks and ratings for the outlandish things you say, you're looking for more. You start getting bigger and bigger and saying more and more outlandish things. He has several times been fact checked on what he spoke on something he didn't know the whole story of or all the facts of, and he probably should not have spoken on those things, especially some of the things politically. But that's what you get. That's what today's sports media is, and now he's expanding his brand into politics and everything else. And as long as they keep giving him checks, he's going to keep doing it. I don't take many things that he say very seriously anymore. I refer to him as Screaming A. Smith because that's what he does all the time, scream at this point. Like, he was a lot calmer in his demeanor and got the facts out there before, so I really don't have a lot of, I really don't fuck with him like that. So that's just my opinion that is my opinion that y'all come here to watch and hear me talk about. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Listen.
Well, I think this is growth for him, right? Because basically, I feel like we can love our people and still challenge them. Like, I feel like you have a platform, so just like politicians, how dare you get aggravated because somebody's calling you on your shit, and you always put your shit out there.
And you made a living calling everybody else on their shit.
Right? How?
Yeah. So you feel some kind of way, and I hear you feeling some kind of way. And I'm interested. I would be interested in finding out what it is that you're going to say and how far you're going to go. And as far as the whole, so the argument that I saw that was being made, as far as the black woman thing. So on several of occasions, he has come hard on black women, politics and sports and everything. But he didn't have that same energy for white men who came for him. Lastly, being Serena's husband. He had said some stuff about Serena, and Serena's husband came to the studio that day to be interviewed. And Stephen A. Smith did not show up that day in person. He was on the big screen. He was not there. You knew he was coming. And when dude challenged you, you were shucking and jiving and the whole nine and pleading and you didn't have that same energy when black people have challenged you. Then you've come out like, how dare you? I'm this, I'm that, this, that, and the other, and you come with the bravado and all of that. But you didn't have that for this white man and other white people that have challenged you. This is what I have seen. This is what I have seen, and the major complaint has been about Stephen A. Smith. You don't have that same energy for people like that because Serena's husband can buy and sell you. You understand what I'm saying? He has that kind of money. So when somebody like that challenged you, you didn't have the same energy that you have for several female athletes and female actress or two and female politicians. You didn't have that same energy, and not just females. You've come at some brothers a certain way that you won't come at white people, and that's been the challenge. That's been the biggest critique of Stephen A. Smith lately. Like, you don't have that same energy with white people that you do with black people. Like you you know, and I'm like, yo, if you're gonna be unapologetically and you're gonna be that, one thing about Damon, he has the same energy, right or wrong, he has the same energy for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make him always right, and me and him don't always agree on everything, but his energy level, the same energy he had for Jamal Bowman, he got for George Latimer. For the same energy he has for a school board trustee, he got that same energy for Congress and for a senator. Like, you know what I'm saying? The head of a corporation, he has that same, and he maintains that same energy. You know what I'm saying? And you have to, and Stephen A. Smith does not do that. He is very selective in the energy he gives to black people, especially black women. So that's where that critique comes from. And Damon watched Straight Shooter. This is what I said to Damon. You watch Straight Shooter. I've seen the body of his work. The Stephen A. Smith show. I've seen the various shows and things that he's done on ESPN. The guest appearances on other shows. You know, the energy he has. So you know, that's just it. That's my 2 cents.
Well, listen.
He every now and then he will apologize when he's wrong. And he gave a lot of smoke to the Knicks. And after they had their podcast and he came on their show, he apologized for being wrong about the things he said about Jalen Brunson. Give him props to that. You see the hat I'm wearing. So I give him props to that. But he doesn't do that often.
No, I mean, look, from my experience, man, I never seen him being disrespectful to women that you would put it on in a video. Right? I've never seen that. So I mean, the whole thing with Somko's husband, you know, as a man, you have a right to do that. I ain't knocking her husband for doing that. But to say that he has been disrespectful to women, I haven't seen it, to the point that has been like, he even, you know, you can't, how are you disrespectful when you talk about the girl's intelligent and she's great and she's beautiful, but her policies are weak? How is that disrespectful? I mean, because that's what he said. Even he had a whole show apologizing to Jasmine Crockett for something to, as I said, he shouldn't apologize for. Because what he said was straight politics. Because what he said is what if you think about politics, how are you going to call the president a racist and all these names and think he's going to sign your bill? Come on, let's call it, and that's what the whole basis of the thing is. How are you going to do that? You're not going to get nothing done. And that's not her. That's just Democrats. How are you going to call this man all these types of names and think he's going to sign your bill? Because I know goddamn well, if I was in the White House and they call me all type of names, I'm not signing none of y'all's bill. You don't have to vote me. You got to wait till I leave to get that passed. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You got these black politicians talking about HR 40. It's been sitting for 37 years. You want to bring it up to Trump, the one that you're saying is the racist? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. You ain't bringing it up under Obama.
No.
You ain't bringing it up under Obama. Come on, man. Like
talking about things.
No.
No.
I was specifically talking about his criticism of the Democratic Party, his criticism of
I will say, let me interrupt you.
Jasmine Crockett.
I will say, recently he was pissed about something Trump did, and he did criticize him. So he's just not criticizing Democrats. I'm not. That's not even my point.
No,
but I was just saying, but for the record, though, he hasn't just criticize Democrats. He did criticize Trump. It was uncharacteristic, but he did.
Sure.
He did say some stuff about Trump and disappointing and some
Well,
stuff.
I mean, look, we have to get out. Here's the biggest thing, and this is what I said, and this is what I told you over the phone, AJ. It appears to me that all these organizations, the NAACP, the Urban League, the National Association of Black Journalists, National Black Police Association, all these organizations, right? The National Association of Blacks and no, not them. National Association, they don't get involved in politics like that. But NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, we are under the understanding that the Democratic Party is the Black Party. Yes, he is, because he told me he was. In our last conversation. So the Democratic, it's like the Democratic Party is the Black Party. And they have to put the wagons around the Democratic Party to defend the Democratic Party, even when Black folks are asking questions. Like, we're not supposed to ask questions. We're just supposed to go vote blue no matter who.
Well, I was never for that. And I also called out those. I wrote the big article called "Not All Those Organizations That Had Al Sharpton Blocking Black Westchester for 2 years" on Twitter. So, but it's going back to specifically Stephen A. Smith. The last thing I say is he has a history of being a flip-flopper. Like, he'll say certain things and then he'll flop on it. And
because he's a media personality. He has to keep his views up.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't come with the smoke. You can't come with the smoke today and then come with a different and then reverse your opinion tomorrow. Totally
he's a media person. You addressing him like he's writing articles.
No, I'm addressing him as somebody who's been watching him a lot longer than you have.
But you're not hearing me. He's a media personality. He has to make his money.
Clicks.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I did not say that, but I addressed that when I spoke about him. They're doing things to get more and more and more. I said all that. So
absolutely,
both things could be true. That is true, but he also is a flip flopper on positions.
Right. But he's about getting paid. And if we put that and understand that, then that solves the whole problem. But if the National Association, if you premiered him as someone doing honorable work 1 year, and then now this year, you give him the thumbs down, I'm questioning what happened. Because he's not a because
what year was that? Let me look it up.
Well, you can do that. You actually can do that. Yo, how many people have we supported and they were not the people we thought they were, and we have gone after you can honor somebody 1 year and then not feel their position.
But his attitude on his podcast ain't changed. It was probably still doing it at that time.
I can't find where they honored him, so I'm looking.
Yeah, somebody had posted it.
I'm looking.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's earlier. I'm still not finding
2026. Oh no, sorry, that's now. Sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, like only thing you talk about when you put their names in is all the stuff now. Nothing is coming up about them honoring him previously.
But let me tell you, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be, only thing you're going to do is give him more views and give him another platform to address whatever. As he said, that it's like he was itching to say something. So, it is what it is. But as someone who's been there, I ain't no flip-flopper, but I do understand, if you're critical of black women in power positions, you're easier to get labeled as someone who disrespects women.
I see the difference is, and I explained that too. You have the same energy for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
He does not. And that has been one of the biggest critiques of him. You know what I'm saying? His energy at black women and sometimes black people is not the same as his energy for white people. That's just point. That's one of the biggest critiques that I've heard about him for a while. You know what I'm saying? And from reputable people, that's been one of the. And I said the difference with, yes, you've been accused of that too, but you have the same energy for everybody. You don't have more energy against black women or against any other group than you do everybody. You have that same energy for. So I mean, there's a difference. He's not like that. He's not you.
Everybody, I just feel everybody needs to be held accountable, and I hope somebody holds me accountable.
And that might be what they thought they were doing.
Yeah.
As an organization, they felt like he don't represent what he used to represent, and they might wonder.
Yeah, listen. I mean, look, whatever comes out, whatever comes after that is showtime.
Well, that's all it's going to be at this point.
Right.
But I will say something though, and this goes for everybody, and I've said this before. You got to be careful when you come after somebody that has a microphone or a pen. And unfortunately for our distractors, we have both. And he has a big platform. So if you're coming at somebody with a big platform,
yeah, it's like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Even if they're wrong, though, if you're coming at somebody with a big platform, expecting a backlash that you're going to get because he has a big platform.
So I found something on National Association of Black Journalism Facebook page, August 1st, 2025. ESPN's First Take is coming to National Association of Black Journalism. Yep. Join Stephen A. Smith and special guests for a live taping of ESPN's First Take, open to all registers, attendees at the 2025.
That's not honoring him. Yeah.
Huh?
He's at their convention.
No, so he recorded a live show at their convention, and it's open to the public. He was a paying member. He was a paying member, and he did the show there. They didn't give him an award for honoring him for his great.
Okay, but still, August 2025, he was still talking that shit.
Hold on, I found something for 2024. It's coming up now. Hold on, let me see what it is.
He was still this is just last year. Trump
but again, it was
for 2 years.
It was for the First Take show, and the comments that he making that he getting heat for are mostly for his personal.
No, I get that, but he was
have nothing to do with First Take or sports. Yeah,
right. But he was still making those comments.
That means they're paying him, right? That means they were giving him some money because here's 2024 with him speaking at their journalism convention again. It says Stephen A. Smith reflects on journey through sports journalism at the NABJ convention. That's 2024.
I can't speak personally on whether they pay their speakers. We're not going back to that conversation. Whether they pay all their speakers, whether the speakers get paid or not, or they speak, they are invited. I don't know whether I've never been invited to speak, so I don't know if they get paid. So,
let me address Rob. I just want to say this to Retro Rob. Let me see. By separating yourself by color is calling yourself black. This black, this or white.
Like that.
Huh?
Calling yourself black this or white that.
Right. Well, what do you say to Jewish people that say they're Jews?
So
no. Let me.
I'm gonna answer that though. Yeah.
What do you say to Jewish people that say they're Jews? What do you say to Italian people that have Italian small little Italies all over the place? What do you say to Asian people that have little Chinatowns and all that? Do you say that's racism, or do you say that is being proud of your culture? So if that's the case, all the Jewish communities in New York State, and I live by one of the biggest ones up here in Orange County, where they got almost just as many Jews here as they have in Israel, which they say it. Is that racism? When they don't let nobody else in, Retro Rob, when they let nobody else in, you can't even live in the community. Is that racism?
So this is what it is. Only Black people that you have a problem with. Every ethnic group has a localized media, community media that speaks to them. There are Asian publications that speak only to Asian publications that may have Asian in the name. There are Italian publications that only have Italian in the name. There are Jewish publications that have Jewish in the name. The only group of people that y'all ever have this conversation for, Retro Rob, is Black people, because y'all have a problem when the word Black is in the title. This is not that if you are not Black, let me be clear. We appreciate everyone who watches our show, who reads the newspaper and website. But this was created for Black people to highlight Black issues and situations that the Black community was facing that were not being covered in mainstream media anywhere. And every group of people has this. And the only people that you ever question is Black people. And for all of those who say, well, if I was to make a white Westchester, I'd be racist. You don't have to, because most mainstream media is white.
Yeah.
So you never had to do that. So you have a problem with the identity that I have created something for my people to uplift and educate my people. Is that what you have a problem with, Bob? Because we talk about the issues that are important to our community, like every other group of people does, and you don't have a problem with none of those other groups of people, but you have a problem with the word Black. You know what? It costs you nothing to pay us no mind. You don't have to watch the show. You don't have to listen to it. It wasn't created for you. Now, understand, we appreciate everyone. We have a lot of white supporters who watch the show and have been supporters of the show since day one and supporter of Black Westchester. So this doesn't mean that we don't want white people to check us out. There's a lot of white people who appreciate what we do. But what I'm not going to have, we are unapologetically Black, and we're not going to stop being that because you don't like it. That means you just need to find something else to watch or something else to do. Point blank. So that's the end of it. You've been addressed. We are not going to bring it up no more. You can keep making comments though, because you can keep making comments and help our algorithm and bring a lot of attention to us. Keep with your comments, but we're not addressing you anymore.
Hold on, can I say I found something?
I wish I had a full screen for that too. I should have full screen myself.
So this a little disrespectful though. They did this when he attended the Atlanta 2026 convention.
They did what?
They gave him thumbs down while he was there?
If that's what it says.
If you're gonna do something, that's when you do it.
The 2022 is 2026.
No, I said the 2026 Atlanta.
Yeah, they gave him a thumbs down in his face while he was there. If you're gonna say something about somebody, say it to my face. That's what you're supposed to do.
That was disrespectful.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That was real disrespectful.
Really?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to hear about it later. If you're gonna do it,
hey, listen. I guess do you want a war? You get a war. Because he's gonna listen, he's gonna clap back.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna clap back, and I don't know any journalist that's gonna represent the National Association of Black Journalists that's gonna clap back after he clapped back. Even that even has the platform.
But 3 years of working with them, I'm sure he got some. He got some
shit. That's why he said what he said.
He started out as a Black journalist with the Philadelphia, whatever. He's probably been a member forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Member,
he got. Let me tell you something. He got some shit, and he's going to air his laundry. He's going to air the dirty laundry out. But it is what it is. If you started it, just be prepared. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you just be prepared.
If you start a fight, you got to expect to get hit back.
Yeah. And sometimes they never think about getting hit back. We used to talk about that with the city council and Richie. They would never think to get hit back.
They sucker punch Richie one time on Inez. Whatever the issue was. They sucker punched him. He didn't see it coming. They probably dazed him and maybe even knocked him down. He got back up and he hit. And it was like, oh shit, he hit us back. And it was like, and they would not continue to fight. They complained that he was hitting back. Yes.
How you prove a victim and you hit first?
We highly documented this, so I'm not even going to trash the people's names and everything no more. Because I've already done that, and it's on Black Westchester. I've already done that. But yeah, and even Reggie Lafayette told him, yo, you don't start a fight that you're not willing to see through. Like, you don't start a fight that you're not willing. Like, yo, if I start a fight with you, I'm ready for the smoke. I'm ready for everything that comes with it. I'm ready for whatever comes with it. I know I want you to come back because I got stuff for you. Like, I'm ready.
So we're going to move on. The next topic is that the governor's race is getting closer. Let's check it out.
University poll released today has incumbent Democrat Kathy Hochul holding a 10-point lead over Republican challenger Bruce Blakeman in the governor matchup.
10 points, that's a double-digit lead. Might sound like a safe, comfortable margin for a governor's race. The question here, though, is it really?
That's one of the many questions we had today for the Siena pollster.
Dan Levy now joins us in studio with what he found out with that. Dan, good evening.
Good evening, Steve. Good evening, Rachel. You know, it's important to keep in mind New York is an extremely blue state. 48% of enrolled voters are Democrats, 23% are Republicans. With that kind of sizable advantage, better than 2-1, you might expect Kathy Hochul to have a larger cushion. It's not the case right now. Something else important to point out from the Siena poll, other Democrats running for statewide office currently hold larger leads over their Republican opponents. For example, Attorney General Letitia James is up 18 points. Controller Tom DiNapoli leads by 23 points. Now, we are 3 months away from the November election. Anything could happen. Things could change. Also, keep in mind, a Republican has not won statewide office in 24 years, not since George Pataki won a third term as governor in 2002. Before that, it's been 40 years since Republican Dennis Vaca was elected the state's attorney general. That's the history. Those are the numbers. So what does Siena University's pollster anticipate in the coming months?
I don't anticipate anything. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if this race got closer. It wouldn't shock me if Hochul opened a wider lead. It wouldn't shock me if it stays where it is. That's what campaigns are all about. They're about educating the voters of this state. And the Hochul campaign and her allies want to tell the world how great she's been as governor and how horrible Bruce Blakeman would be. And the Blakeman campaign and staff and candidate, they want to talk about his record of accomplishment as Nassau County executive, what he wants to do as governor, and how horrible Kathy Hochul is. We'll see which campaign does a better job of getting their message through to the voters.
Be an interesting 3 months coming up. And if you're wondering about historic comparison, 4 years ago in August 2022, when Hochul was running for her first full term as governor, she held a 14-point lead over challenger Lee Zeldin. And that year, Hochul held on for a 6-point victory.
And that race against Lee Zeldin was interesting.
So real quick, it was about the governor race. So Bruce Blakeman, the Republican Nassau County executive, his people have reached out. He might want to come on the show.
No, listen, but bring him on the show. Let's bring him on the show.
And he's talking to people about doing some kind of. He wants to do some kind of thing in Mount Vernon, like a rally type of whatever in Mount Vernon. So it's like he wants to do something I guess to attract the voters in Mount Vernon. I don't know. I'm reading text messages, so I know he's going to be in Morris Park. He's going to be in the Bronx. He's going to be in the Bronx on Monday, tomorrow.
So he's going to have to. He's going to have to. I think the Republican Party in Westchester County just are dropping the ball. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Nassau and Suffolk, they actually do have some of the highest taxes, but so does Westchester. So
yeah, Westchester have some of the highest taxes too. I mean, at the end of the day, New York State has some of the highest taxes in the nation. You know, and but at the end of the day, when it comes to taxes, neither party has done to address anything. You know, in my opinion, neither party has done. They both. You go these little Democratic towns, they just want to raise your taxes in schools, and your kids can't even comprehend, can't even read. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, we never know what's gonna happen. And sooner or later, if it's not Blakeman, the pendulum will swing back.
But let's not act like New York has never had a Republican governor. And let's not act like Westchester has never had a Republican county executive. In the lifetime, in the 12 years that Black Westchester has been here, we started Black Westchester under a Republican. It was a Republican here.
Republican county executive. Right.
And we haven't had a Republican governor in a minute. And some could say we're due, but let's not act like we're just so blue that it couldn't happen here, because it has happened.
What if Bruce Brakeman is taxes? Of course, taxes is energy.
Policy going. Well, listen, if he's serious about coming on the show, he will be asked all those questions about his policy.
I'm just having a conversation.
No one gets a easy ball over the plate. Like, you're gonna get the tough questions, and we're gonna ask him all those things. Why should show vote for him? He's gonna have to explain why people should vote for him and what his platform is. I don't follow him, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what his policies are. I don't follow him like that. But
we're
gonna give you both sides. If he wants to come on, we're gonna give you all the candidates.
That question, it says, he said, you all specifically, I'm telling you my interest. Well, and that goes for Republicans and Democrats.
Absolutely.
Taxes. How are you going to lower this energy bill? Are you going to allow new nuclear power? Because nuclear power has jumped. It's not the same as it was before, right? What are you going to do about power, right? Are you going to team up with these great big companies and bring some type of thing into New York? Because all that's legislation, right? Them solar panels it's not doing enough. So we got to find out how are we going to lower these energy taxes, these energy prices. What are we going to do about property taxes, right? What are we going to do about state taxes? How are we going to fix the Department of Corrections, the New York State Department of Corrections? How are we going to fix them? These are questions that I want to know. I just don't give my vote. If you ain't answering nothing, you ain't gonna get my vote. If you just want to tell me about what Trump's doing in Washington, D.C., and you ain't telling me about what you're doing here locally, you ain't gonna get my vote. Yeah, Ern, you gotta see, this is where Black people fail. This is where we fail. We don't pressure our school board. We don't pressure our city council people. We don't pressure our mayors or town supervisors or whatever they want to call themselves. We don't pressure them, right?
It's what the town calls them, and it's not what they call themselves.
Exactly. So
it's what the municipality calls them. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, how do you go? No, I'm not even gonna go there. We don't pressure them, right? I'm an independent. I just went to the Mount Vernon City Committee, Democratic City Committee event, and I get love. And if I hear about a Republican event, if it's somebody that I like and respect, I'll go to theirs too. And I get love. That's the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to get love from both parties because both parties want our vote. We under this foolishness that the Democratic Party is the black party. Ain't nothing black. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing black about the Democratic Party behind the scene. It's all white people with white money. It's all white folks with white money. And they just get our vote, but they get all the businesses and the hookups and all that other stuff. So we gotta black people, we gotta really think strategic and start asking questions. Not every black elected official should be asked what their position on reparations is. Even if they say, look, I support HR 40. That's it. You know, I'm in support of HR. Okay, cool. You know, when Lattimore had the debate with Bowman, Lattimore specifically said he'll vote for HR 40. I can't be mad at him for that, right? At least he's open about that he will vote for it. How many black elected officials will tell you that? That at least they support HR 40. That should be one of the questions. That should be one of the non-negotiable questions. Non-negotiable. That we should ask our politicians that we vote for. Since everybody want to think the Democratic Party is the black party. So we should ask all of them, what is your position on reparations? What is your position on building equitable housing, not low-income housing? Low-income housing does not build generational wealth, black people.
Right.
Ownership does. How do we get young people into owning homes? How do we open up the money stream that these young people can buy loans instead of blowing it on these credit cards? We could get them into a house, because what does that do? It creates a tax base for the city, and it's the first door in generational wealth. You know what you could do with a house over 30 years? How you can pull equity out and start businesses and pull equity out and invest it on a simple house.
Every other group of people has an agenda, and they make their elected officials meet with them. They make their candidates meet with them, and they're like, yo, what are you going to do for us? And if you want our vote, this is what we want from you. We black people do not do that as a whole. Black organizations don't even do that when they are representing as a block. You know what I'm saying? And then we get mad that we don't get anything for our vote, that they don't do anything for us. Let's put it this way. If you know 90% of the people are going to vote for you regardless, why am I doing anything for you? You're going to vote for me. Mm-hmm. I need to get to those people that I got to earn their vote. I need to work with them. I need to convince them to vote for me. I already got your vote without I got out the bed. I got your vote. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to vote for me because I got a D by my name, and you're going to vote against the person that got the R against around it. So you're going to vote for me. So there's no earning. You're giving them something that they don't have to earn. So I mean, that's why you don't get half the things that you think you should get. You don't make those demands before you give your vote.
Right.
Well, guys,
It's time to go.
Yes, I'm
all
out.
right now.
We started 20 minutes late. We ended at 8:20. Thank you for tuning in for another great episode. Thank you for everybody who tuned in, for the comments, for the commentary. You've listened. This has been Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show. Simulcast and live on Facebook, YouTube, and X every Sunday, 6 to 8. Until next week. Peace.
They taught us charity, never clarity. Now help the world while we suffer in the dark. Fighting for flags that don't feed our seeds, but can't build one school where our babies can read. We loud for the globe, but silent for home. No plumber, no coder, but a new iPhone. Our pain got turned to a marketing stream, march and scream, but no policy team, red or blue. Man, they both play roles. One lock us up, one leave us broke with hopes. Democrat, Republican, ain't changed the hood. Just new faces, same games, misunderstood. We vote, they win, then forget we alive. They fund everybody, we just try and survive. Our issues trend only after we die. Ain't no savior coming, it's us or goodbye. So I buy black, build back, sow in the earth. Each brick I lay, I honor the hurt. My grandma prayed for the day we be free, not just legally, but financially. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first, yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan, put the people to work, no more mule moves, Black America first. We out of line, chasing likes, ignoring the home. It ain't fly if your daughter feel alone. We used to raise villages, now it's revenge, talking about love, but we barely call friends. We gotta get back to black man and black queen, not war in the house, but a kingdom scene. Husband and wife, raise life with direction, not baby mamas and weekend connections. They broke us with policy, broke us with lies, made war between us, now we barely try. But if we don't rebuild that core in the house, the world outside gon' chew us out. I ain't anti-nobody, I'm pro my kind. If our kids ain't safe, then I draw that line. Let them talk slick seat. We ain't here to please, we here to own, build, love, and plant trees. My son need a future, not survival mode. My daughter need a man that walk God's roads. So I lead with faith, work, and a plan. Black woman by my side, that's God's right hand. This ain't hate, this ain't fear, it's return to self. From trauma to triumph, from pain to wealth. We done saved the world, now it's time for us. No more back seats, we driving the bus. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first, not a slow. Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.